Hey guys, Miss P here. I've been marking some of your gesture drawings, and I'm noticing that some of you are still focusing on the outer edge of a figure, trying to worry about the contour of it rather than trying to capture the movement. So what I did is, I'm looking right now on my computer, I have Delaney's photo references up, and I thought I would just kind of draw some of the figures that she included in her photo references, just kind of playing around with it. So the best way to learn is by doing. So that's what I'm doing, practicing, because it's always good for an artist to practice their gesture drawings. And so it's only taken me a couple minutes, well, about 2 minutes on each sketch to do these. And I'm not saying that mine are totally right, but my approach is that I'm really trying hard to capture the movement. I feel like I've achieved that on a few of these. I think this was my last one. I got better. My first one was pretty good. My second one I didn't feel was very good. I was more focusing, I felt, on the inner structure of the body, where these I really tried focusing on the form and the movement of the figure, and as quickly as I can do that with as little lines and detail as possible, so that make the most sense. I think some of you are really kind of being tight about this, and you know what? I gave you an assignment where you had to do 5, and if you're going to do 5, maybe one out of those 5 are going to capture the movement of the figure. So I want to show you kind of how I go about doing it. I do really focus on what that guy said in the video of the C, S, and I line. So I want you to kind of see how I'm really focusing on that. You could see the S's and the C's, the backward C's and stuff. And I kind of start off with that action line of the figure as well. Sorry that I'm not able to show you the actual photo that Delaney used, but I'm going to start a new page and try drawing a figure that I'm looking up on the computer right now, and that is a girl standing in her dance studio. So my first thing that I want to do is I want to look for that line of action. So I'm going to try and capture that line of action and start with the oval shape of the head, come down around her belly, and then right away I see the C curve of her booty. Okay, so there's a nice round C curve there, and then I'm going to take that down. The leg straightens out, goes to the knee. I'm just going to use like a circle, and then I notice that calf really curves like this, and then onto the foot. Okay, her other leg, or let's say this is her booty, then I'm going to try and capture the other curve of the thigh, the front of the thigh, this being the back of the thigh, the back of the calf. The knee protrudes out a little bit, and again it's a little bit exaggerated, but we're trying to exaggerate the movement to be able to capture the movement. So there's her back leg, and then it's extended, and again that back curve of the calf, ankle, and then her toe is tipped up, and I'm seeing the bottom of her shoe there. Okay, so then now that I've kind of captured those CSI lines, I can kind of add a little more plumpness to it. I'm not actually timing myself because I'm going a little bit slower to kind of explain how I'm doing it. Now the pelvic area where her pants start, her waistline there, then how it goes into there, and then I start to see a little bit more of the other butt cheek. Okay, I do notice that the back is totally curving here, and then I've got this where her top is, and then I see the breast. I'm gonna kind of go around the breast, the way that her shirt curls up, her shoulder, her arm extended. Again, I'm gonna kind of exaggerate. Her hand goes like this, while her other arm is reached up behind her head and goes up like this. Now that I'm at this point, and if I still have time, because remember you're supposed to be timing yourself, but at this point I can go in and grab a little bit more information, but even that would be considered a finished gesture drawing because I've captured the movement of the dancer. But then if I say, okay, I'm going to do 2-minute gestures, and then I'm going to take another minute or two to go in and add a little bit more detail. And when I say detail, I'm not talking about facial features or anything like that, focusing more on trying to grab maybe those little few contours that I feel are important, And I can even, you notice I'm using the side of my pencil to force me to be loose. I'm trying to be loose, but now at this point I can, but then I tend to tighten up a little bit. I want to focus on some of these lines that I feel are very strong, the contours that are very strong, like the muscle of the arm going down like this. And sometimes at this point you almost ruin the drawing because you might feel like you're adding too much detail at this point. Just trying to give you an idea of what I'm seeing and the movement that I'm trying to capture here. And I notice that her pant leg is curved. Then we go on to her shoe. I'm not trying to make it look like this girl. I'm following those movement lines, the movement of the lines. Now, Delaney, you have the picture, so after watching this video, you can kind of take a look at it. Draw a line where the eyes are and maybe the middle of the head. There we go. So there would be a gesture drawing for one of the figures that Delaney had. So let's see if I go on to another one here. Loading up another one of her photos. Or maybe I'll go on to someone else's. I know, Metris, you had some interesting photos as well. Remember, CSI is what we're really looking for, okay? Waiting for the video to load up, sorry. Technical difficulties. Choosing one of Metris's photos right now, popping up, it's a guy jumping. And again, I'm going to just kind of grab the angle of the face, try and get that line of action. Remember, sometimes it might be like a zigzag. Maybe I'm gonna move to the side of my pencil now so I can remain loose. This one's giving me a little bit of trouble here. It's not easy, but practice definitely increases your knowledge of the figure. And sometimes you go, you know what? I messed up. No big deal. I'm just not seeming to capture exactly what it is I'm trying to achieve here. And that's okay. So I would maybe move on. Try another approach maybe. I feel like I got the gist of it, but it's not quite in proportion, okay? Let's try another one. You got some tough ones here, Metris. All right. Let's try this one. So here's a guy grabbing his face. I'm gonna grab the line of action. I'm not focusing on the outer contour at all. I'm just trying to grab the movement. And I realize here that this head should have been way more back here. And that's a good thing about gestures. You don't have to race. You can just kind of jump into it, draw over it,